Senator Markey, you are the first senators ever to say this to a president of the United States. The debt ceiling has been around for almost 100 years. It's never come to this before. What brought you to the point where you're urging the president to, in effect, just ignore Congress and go ahead himself?
Well, it's pretty clear that Speaker McCarthy is tethered to the most right-wing, radical, conservative members of his caucus. And he cannot reach a deal that does not, in fact, result in absolutely unconscionable cuts to programs that affect the poorest, the most vulnerable in our society. And we just can't, as a country, allow for something that is unconstitutional to be used by these radical right-wingers as a way of extracting concessions time after time at this critical debt ceiling moment in our history. When Donald Trump was president, the deficit, the debt went up $8 trillion. Huge increases in defense spending, trillions of dollars of tax breaks for the rich, for billionaires and millionaires. They didn't care at all. But once Joe Biden gets in, the crocodile's tails are shed, and they want to shut down the government if they don't get these cuts for who? The billionaires, the defense budget? No, for the poorest in our society. Well, the United States Constitution, Article 14, says quite clearly that the validity of the public debt as authorized by law shall not be questioned. As authorized by law means all of the bills that have already passed. They're already the law. You've already gone out with your credit card and bought all this stuff, and now the bill has arrived, and the Constitution says you must pay it. So I think this might be just the right moment to once and for all stop this nonsense. Let's just invoke the 14th Amendment and never again have this crazy situation where the most right-wing radical elements are able to hold our economy and the global economy hostage.
Let's listen to what one of your constituents has to say about this. One of your constituents in Cambridge, Massachusetts, Harvard Law professor Laurence Tribe.
But the real question isn't what powers does the president have. It is what duties does the president have. Does the president have a duty to execute all the laws of the United States, the ones that Congress passed telling him to spend money? He does have that duty.
Senator, I have to say that use of the professor's focus on duty really sharpened my ability to see this point the way he's making it.
Well, of course, Laurence Tribe, as usual, is right on the money. He's the leading constitutional expert in our country. The 14th Amendment is very clear. And if we were having a reasonable negotiation with Republicans, if there was a way where both sides were coming to the table, if the tax breaks for millionaires and billionaires were a part of this discussion, then we probably wouldn't be having this discussion. But none of those things are happening. And so as a result, maybe it's the clarifying historical moment where we look back at the wisdom of that post-Civil War Reconstruction era of Congress when they enshrined into the Constitution the requirement that the American government pay its bills, that they are valid, they shall not be questioned. And I would say that it's not something that comes easily, I think, to the political process, but I think Kevin McCarthy will not have the leeway. I agree with Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
Yeah.
I think his hands are going to be tied. And I think if they are, and we're heading into default, there is one short and certain way out, and that's invoking the 14th Amendment.